Meanwhile, as President Trump is trying to make our city safer, Democrats think they know what he's exactly motivated by. You guessed it, racism.
I think it's very notable that each and every one of the cities called out by the president has a black mayor, and most of those cities are seeing historic lows in violent crime.
The president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men, and so of course he would speak in those petite and puerile terms.
Do you think there's race driving this?
I won't say that's like the totality of it, but I absolutely think it is. Yes, there are homicides in my city. Yes, there is crime, but we don't think the same prescription of help is necessary.
What doesn't he get? President Trump's approach is to protect the people that didn't vote for him in most of those inner cities. Protect them. If you're a criminal, you're probably not happy. If you're not, you should be happy. Al Sharpton is coming up with his own term to describe the president's methods.
Mr. President, you've named other cities, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland, all cities with black mayors. Is that your calculus here, Mr. President? Why are you only having a segregated intervention?
Wow. I got to dissect this with Horace Cooper, chairman of Project 21. So why is the president picking black cities?
The president isn't picking black cities. The president is trying to solve a problem, and it happens that black Americans who didn't give him a majority of their votes are going to be the beneficiaries. Let me explain something, Brian. When OPEC gets together and they set oil prices, we know what their plan is. Their plan is to benefit themselves. They're not concerned about what happens to people out all across this country, poor, working class people, middle class people, or whoever. Well, there is a cabal. It is made up of NGOs. It is made up of think tanks, some elected leaders elected officials who benefit from maintaining the status quo. They do not wish to see any improvement, because if you can show that these common sense approaches will solve the problem in Washington, D.C., other cities will soon start getting asked, why aren't you solving our problems?
If you walk the city streets in Washington, you get your own people poll. Most are pleased to see the bulked up police presence. Anthony Coley, an NBC contributor, had this to say about life in D.C. in terms of criminal behavior. Watch.
I live in Washington. This is personal for me. Many people are frustrated with crime that we see, particularly committed by juveniles. The D.C. Council has a role to play here. Some of the laws that they have passed are not as strong as they could be for juvenile offenders and for reoffenders.
Did Al Sharpton have the audio up in his office when Anthony was speaking? Because they both work for NBC.
Okay, I wasn't explicit. I should have said a left-wing cabal. A left-wing cabal is uncaring about the problems that regular Americans face. And all too often, it's poor people, black Americans who live in the inner city. Everybody is concerned about whether or not they're going to get carjacked. Everybody is concerned about home invasions. Everybody is concerned about the epidemic of killing, where it is less safe in Washington, D.C. for your 16 or 17-year-old son to walk on the streets than it is in Baghdad. I thank the president for taking this step, and I believe that we should continue. This isn't a 30-day project. This is a much, much longer project, but I see it working, and I see all of the beneficiaries with all of the angry people from the left who call him a racist when all he's doing is making it clear they're not solving the problems.
They're also underfunding the police. They're about 800 shy. They just got supplemented by National Guards. By the way, a member of Chuck Schumer's detail, when he travels, just texted me and says that Senator Schumer has a full Capitol Police detail with them full time. He knows all of them. They're great guys. So Mr. Courage walks around the streets of Washington fearless because he's got armed guards around him. Meanwhile, Tim Walz, thank goodness he's not the vice president, has a daughter who's speaking out and doing a selfie video. Let's watch together.
Trump's baby wussy scaredy cat behavior in DC, and it's always been like one form of another of like the US locking up people that aren't like rich and white and men.
Did you learn anything just now?
I actually am disappointed that I was forced to watch that. It's so sad. I feel dumber now than before I came on your program. Every person of goodwill understands this basic principle. If you engage in wanton, lawless behavior, you must be held accountable. If the primary victims of that in the city happen to be black, we don't care because we're people of goodwill. Only the real bigots complain and would like to continue the status quo.
I sense that people in the cities are going to make their own decisions. They're not going to look at MSNBC to find out what they think or their politicians. They'll know if they're safer in 30 days and want to know if things should change after that. Horace Cooper, thank you so much.